Welcome back to the channel JF Coin. Today's video is all about one of the most iconic and surprisingly valuable coins out there, the 1980 Lincoln penny. You heard that right? That simple, copper-colored coin you might have tossed into a jar years ago could be worth way more than just 1 cent. In fact, some 1980 pennies are selling for much, much more, and today we're going to uncover why, how much they're worth, and what to look for if you want to find one of these ultra-valuable coins. So grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and stick with me to the end because you won't want to miss this. Let's dive deep into the story of the 1980 Lincoln penny, its history, hidden gems, rare varieties, and current market value. Let's go to understand the 1980 penny. We have to start with a bit of history. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and it replaced the Indian head cent for decades. The Lincoln penny has undergone several changes in design and composition, but the obverse, that's the front, has always shown the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln. The reverse has changed over the years, but in 1980 we were still in the Lincoln Memorial reverse era, which ran from 1959 to 2008. The back shows the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., and if you look closely, you can even see a tiny seated Lincoln inside the monument. Now let's talk about what sets the 1980 Lincoln penny apart. First of all, this coin marks an interesting time in U.S. mint history. These pennies were made just 2 years before the mint switched from copper to zinc in 1982. That means every 1980 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, and it weighs 3.11 grams. Compare that to today's pennies, which are mostly zinc with just a thin copper coating and weigh only 2.5 grams. That higher copper content alone gives the 1980 penny an intrinsic metal value higher than face value. As of current copper prices, the metal in a single 1980 penny is worth about 3 to 4 cents just for scrap. But here's where it gets really interesting. Certain 1980 pennies, especially those in mint condition or with unique errors, can be worth much more. We're talking dollars, even hundreds of dollars in rare cases. The 1980 penny was produced at 3 different U.S. mint facilities. Here's a quick breakdown. 1980, no mint mark, minted in Philadelphia. Over 7.4 billion made. Common but high-grade examples are sought after. 1980, D, minted in Denver. Over 5 billion struck. Again, common in circulation, but uncirculated or error coins have collector value. 1980, S. These are proof coins made specifically for collectors, produced with special dies and mirror-like finishes. Only about 3.5 million proof sets were made, making these much scarcer and more valuable, especially in pristine condition. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Some of the 1980 pennies are worth far more than just their copper content because of mint errors or unusual varieties. Here are a few to keep an eye out for. Double die obverse DDO. This means the front of the coin was struck twice, slightly offset, creating a doubling effect. You'll see it most noticeably in the lettering, especially in Liberty and In God We Trust. These can fetch $50 to $300 or more depending on clarity and condition. Off-center strikes. Coins that weren't struck correctly and have part of the design missing or off-center. The more dramatic the error, the more valuable. Some can be worth $100 or more. Die cracks and cuds. These are raised lines or blobs on the coin caused by damage to the die. Some collectors love these flaws and will pay $10 to $50 or more, depending on how dramatic they are. 1980 S-proof coins in PR69 or PR70 deep cameo condition can bring $10 to $75. Sometimes higher if graded by a top-tier company like PCGS or NGC. Dig through your pocket change, your piggy banks, your parents' junk drawers. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Now, let's talk real numbers. What's a 1980 Lincoln penny actually worth today? The face value is 1 cent, of course. But depending on the condition and variety, the value goes up significantly. Circulated 1980 pennies, usually worth 1 to 5 cents for their copper content. Uncirculated or MS65 plus condition. These can bring 25 cents to $3, sometimes more. Graded MS67 plus examples can reach $50 to $150 on auction sites like eBay or heritage auctions. Rare errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks can sell for $25 to several $100s. 1980 S-proof coins range from $2 to $75 depending on grade and eye. appeal, and yes, as of today, the average resale value for a high-grade 1980 Lincoln penny is around $0.445 or 44.5 cents. That's more than 44 times its face value. Not bad for a coin that most people overlook. So what do you do if you think you've got a valuable 1980 penny? Here are a few steps. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning can actually reduce its value. Check for errors. Use a magnifier to look for doubling, off-centers, or cracks. Compare condition. Is your coin shiny and crisp, or worn down? Mint state coins are worth much more. Get it graded. If it looks uncirculated, consider submitting it to PCGS or NGC. Sell it smart. Use platforms like eBay, coin shows, or coin dealers. Be sure to research similar sales so you don't undersell your treasure. So there you have it, the 1980 Lincoln penny. It's not just a piece of loose change. It's a historical artifact, a copper-based collectible, and in some cases, a small but exciting treasure. Whether you're a serious coin collector or just someone hoping to strike it rich with pocket change, the Lincoln penny proves that even the smallest coins can have a big story and sometimes a big value. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Subscribe for more awesome coin facts and values, and drop a comment below if you've found a special 1980 penny or another rare coin in your change. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. Yours could be worth more than you think. We're diving deep into the story of a coin that might just blow your mind. It's small, it's copper-colored, and at first glance, it looks just like any other penny. But what if I told you that one specific penny, minted in 1999 in Denver, could be worth a lot more than its face value? That's right, we're talking about the 1999 D Ultra Lincoln cent. And this little coin has a big story. So grab your coin jars, your magnifying glasses, and maybe even your piggy banks, because after this video you'll want to double-check every single penny you come across. Let's get started. The 1999 D Lincoln cent is part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this penny features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Now, the D mint mark below the date means it was minted in Denver, and in 1999, over 6.3 billion of these pennies were struck. That's billion with a B. With such high mintage, you probably think this coin is common. And yes, most of them are. But here's the twist: some of these 1999 D Lincoln cents aren't ordinary at all. Some are what collectors call ultra strikes, or exceptional business strikes, which display an unusually sharp strike, high luster, and crisp detail that make them stand out significantly from the rest of the pile. Combine this with top-tier preservation and you've got yourself a coin that collectors are hunting down like buried treasure. So why does a 1999 D penny have collectors talking in 2025? It comes down to a mix of quality, rarity, condition, and demand. In the coin collecting world, even modern coins can command high prices if they meet a few special conditions. The 1999 D Lincoln cent has been known to show exceptionally strong strikes. We're talking incredibly clean details, perfectly formed letters and numbers, and bold reliefs on both Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial. Some 1999 D pennies have also turned up with unique die varieties, striking errors, or superior mint luster, and this is where the money starts flowing in. Collectors and graders who've spotted these ultra examples have been willing to pay a premium for them. Even though this penny originally cost just 1 cent to own, certain 1999 D cents in pristine mint state condition have fetched prices well above 50 cents to nearly $1 on the open market. And yes, you heard that right, the market value for some of these ultra-quality 1999 D Lincoln cents has hovered around 65.4 cents. That might not sound like a fortune, but remember, that's over 65 times the original face value. Imagine turning a single penny into almost 70 cents. Now multiply that by the thousands you might have in your old jars and drawers. It adds up. To understand how these coins get their value, we need to talk about coin grading. The value of a coin like the 1999 D Lincoln cent depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A coin that's rated MS 60 is the lowest level of mint state, while an MS 70 is considered a perfect, flawless coin. While most 1999 D pennies you'll find in circulation today would grade somewhere between VF very fine and XF extra fine, it's those mint state specimens that are the real stars. If you happen to find a 1999 D Lincoln cent that's uncirculated, with no wear and full original mint luster, you might have a winner. Coins that have been graded MS-66 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command high prices from collectors. A beautifully struck 1999 D with eye-catching red luster and no major nicks or dings could easily sell for anywhere from 50 cents to over $1 depending on the market. And in auctions, rare strike varieties and error coins have been known to sell for many times that. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Some 1999 D Lincoln cents have turned up with striking errors, and if you know anything about error coins, you know they can skyrocket in value. Look for things like off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These anomalies make the coin even more collectible and can push the value into the multi-dollar range. In fact, a 1999 D penny with a dramatic error could potentially be worth $10, $20, or even $50 depending on its uniqueness and condition. And remember, errors aren't always obvious. Sometimes they're subtle, like a minor misalignment of the die or an extra thickness in the lettering. So don't just glance, study your coins closely. Collectors also seek coins that show toning, that beautiful natural discoloration that can add character to a coin. A 1999 D with attractive toning and high grade could bring in enthusiastic bidders at coin shows and online auctions. The interest in modern Lincoln cents, especially those from the late 90s and early 2000s, has been steadily growing. More and more collectors are focusing on this era because of how overlooked it's been in the past. So where can you find a 1999 D Lincoln cent that could be worth 65.4 cents or more? You don't need to dig through old treasure chests or travel to exotic places. Check your loose change, your grandparents' coin jars, old piggy banks, and even penny rolls from the bank. It's surprising how often these valuable coins show up where you least expect them. If you find one in decent shape, consider storing it properly. Use coin flips or protective holders to prevent further wear. And if you think you have a gem, get it graded. Yes, it might cost a bit, but if you've got a high MS grade coin, it could more than pay for itself. The story of the 1999 D Lincoln cent is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so exciting. It's about history, mystery, art, and discovery. This isn't just metal, this is legacy. So the next time you find a penny on the ground, take a closer look. It might just be a 1999 D Ultra Lincoln cent, and it might just be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Lincoln cents and the amazing story behind the 1999 D, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more numismatic knowledge, and hit the bell so you never miss a future treasure hunting episode. Have a 1999 D penny? Let us know in the comments. You might just have a small fortune in your pocket. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins hide the biggest surprises. We're talking about the 2015 D Lincoln penny. Yes, that tiny, unassuming coin minted not too long ago with the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln. But guess what? Some of these coins are turning heads in the coin collecting world and could be worth way more than just 1 cent. In fact, one variety of this coin is selling for around 37 cents or more depending on condition and demand. That's over 37 times its face value. And that's not even the whole story. So grab your coin jars, check your pocket change, and let's jump into the fascinating world of the 2015 D Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The 2015 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver as signified by the small d mint mark right below the date. This coin is part of the Lincoln Shield cent series that began in 2010, commemorating the end of the 4 reverse designs released for Lincoln's bicentennial in 2009. This design features the Union Shield on the reverse, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single and united country. The obverse, as always, features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first used in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating, the 2015 D Lincoln penny is one of the most common coins in modern circulation, with over 5 billion pieces struck at the Denver Mint. But here's the twist: some of these coins are far from ordinary. With a production number that high, you'd expect every coin to look exactly the same. But that's not the case. During the minting process, errors can and do happen. And in the coin collecting world, errors aren't mistakes, they're treasure. There are some varieties of the 2015 D penny that are worth significantly more than face value because of these minting anomalies. Collectors go crazy for doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other rare features. One of the most sought-after errors in the 2015 D series is the doubled die reverse, where elements of the shield on the back of the coin appear doubled under magnification. These small details, invisible to the naked eye, can transform a simple penny into a high-value collectible. Other notable errors include coins with die chips, little raised bumps on Lincoln's face or beard, and coins with missing letters in the motto. "In God We Trust," due to weak strikes or grease-filled dies. If you have one of these, you might be holding a coin that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. Even minor errors can push the value of a 2015 D penny up to 5, 10, or even 50 cents. And coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, the kind you might find in a roll from the bank or tucked away in a forgotten coin jar, can be worth even more. One of the most important factors in determining the value of any coin is its condition. In numismatics, that means grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most 2015 D pennies in your change will be circulated and show somewhere, which might put them at a grade of 10 to 40. These typically aren't worth much more than face value unless they have an error. However, coins that are in mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher, can fetch a premium. An MS67 2015 D penny could be worth $1 or more, and if it features an error, that value increases dramatically. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC often command higher prices in the market because their condition and authenticity are verified. So if you think you've got a rare or high-quality 2015 D penny, it might be worth getting it graded. As of now, some 2015 D pennies are actively selling for around 37 cents on the secondary market. That might not sound like much, but it's a huge jump from 1 cent, and if you have hundreds of these lying around, it adds up fast. What's driving the demand? A few things. First, collectors are always looking for perfect specimens to complete their Lincoln penny collections. Second, error coins are hot right now. As more people take an interest in coin collecting thanks to online videos, auctions, and social media, demand for even recent coins is growing. The 2015 D penny is still relatively young. But as time goes on and pristine examples become harder to find, their value is likely to increase. Especially those with error varieties or unusually high grades. So what should you be looking for? Here's a quick checklist. Mint mark. Look for the D below the date, that's the Denver Mint version. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, cracks, die chips, or missing letters. Condition. The shinier and cleaner the coin, the better. Look for coins with little to no wear. Color. Red pennies are generally more valuable than brown or red-brown ones. A bright red luster usually indicates a coin that hasn't been circulated much. Get it graded. If you think you have something special, professional grading can confirm its value and help it sell faster if you choose to part with it. This brings us to a big question. If you find a valuable 2015 D penny, should you sell it or keep it? If you're a collector, holding onto it could pay off in the long run. The market for Lincoln cents has been strong for decades, and it's likely to stay that way. If you're looking for quick cash and you have a buyer lined up, selling can be a great option too, especially if you've got duplicates. Just remember, value in the coin world isn't always just about money. It's about history, rarity, and the thrill of the hunt. Every coin has a story, and some of those stories are just beginning. So there you have it, the 2015 D Lincoln penny. A coin that may seem ordinary, but with a little patience and attention to detail, could turn out to be an unexpected treasure. Do you have any 2015 D pennies in your collection? Have you found one with a rare error or in mint condition? Drop a comment below and let us know. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, share it with your fellow coin enthusiasts, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on more hidden coin values, fun facts, and collectible cash. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting.